Hey everybody, welcome back to the Madhouse. I'm Richard and you're watching the Sunday Preview Roundup. Now this is being filmed on a Monday and we've got a couple of extra things that Games Workshop have dropped this week that you might be interested in. So as I said, this is a Sunday Preview Roundup, so the first thing we're going to do is going to go on to Warhammer Community and we're going to take a look at the Sunday Preview for yesterday. And then once we're done, we're going to have a look at some other things. And then it'll be the hobby thing that I usually do. This is quietly turning into a podcast, more than just a quick roundup, but I'm sure you like it anyway. So, 1, 2, 3. Okie dokie. So, what we have first and foremost is Cathay release number 2. So, a little while ago, I don't know if anyone remembers, but Games Workshop previewed the second wave of Cathay miniatures for the old world. So let's see what it says here. Defenders of the Great Bastion Army Reinforcement Set. So this is the sets, mainly infantry with this chap on a horse. Let's read the blurb. It's only been a few months since the armies of Grand Cathay made their presence known, and the world of legend is still coming to terms with floating weapon platforms because they broke the game. And living statues. I don't know how they did. I haven't played Old World yet. I do quite like the look of Cathay and we'll probably get some at some point, but until that time, I just watch what everyone complains about. So now more reinforcements arrived to bolster their forces. It says this absolutely packed box includes 2 Astromancers, 1 on foot to partner with your Jade Warriors, and 1 on horseback, who is ideal for accompanying the Jade Lancers, which would be the cavalry models you got from the first wave. These magical masters control the elements of Yang and the elements of Yin to give your army an advantage in battle, and to give them something to really crow about. They're accompanied by a bird-headed familiar. That's this thing down here. I guess that acts as a token more than anything else in the game. These controllers of the elemental winds are followed into battle by 30 peasant soldiers, conscripted straight from the villages and fields. They favour simple weapons, each can be armed with a warbow or a long spear. While they might not be as effective as professional soldiers, which are the ones you got in the first wave, they more than make up for it with sheer numbers and a desire to defend their home. Providing range support are 8 crane gun teams and 12 iron hail gunners. The former excel at picking off targets at extreme range, while their tower shields protect them from return fire. Iron hail gunners, on the other hand, prefer getting a little closer, where their vicious blunderbuss can cut through ranks of enemy warriors. And this product is available while stocks last. I wonder if this is going to stay as a big army box, or if this is going to be more like the 40k army box releases, which, to be fair, as of late, haven't been flying off the shelves as fast as they used to. Along with that, you get the Arcane Journal, the Breaching of the Great Bastion. Cathay have already got an Arcane Journal, I believe, so this is kind of like a supplement to their Arcane Journal, I think. And that's it for Old World, those 2. I mean, it's quite a big box for Old World, and you get all of that in it. And they're all new models, never existed before. And then we get on to Heresy and the Mechanicum. Careful not to say AdMech, this is the Mechanicum. I don't think I'm the only one with this opinion, but I much prefer the new Mechanicum stuff for the Heresy era than I do the newer releases for the 40k AdMech range. There's just something about these models that just looks cooler. They're definitely more of a gritty kind of look to them. It could easily be the way they're painted. I mean, these have got more ratty roads and all the beaten steel and stuff on them. But they just look cool. So what are these ones? These are the Myrmidon Destructor Host of 6 mon. So need to add a little extra punch to your Mechanicum army. The logical choice is the Myrmidon Destructor Host. Each of these single-minded walking weapon platforms can be armed with either an infantry melting irradiation engine or an armor-bursting darkfire cannon, alongside their shock charger, which they use to crush enemies in close combat. They sound savage. Each Myrmidon Destructor has a choice of 2 heads, bare or hooded. I'd probably go for hooded myself. Yeah, the hooded ones look cooler. And the servo skulls are interchangeable across the 6 miniatures, making it easy to customise your elite infantry. And rules for using them in the Age of Darkness can be found in Journal Tactica Skitarii, the Steel Hand of Mars. And then you've got the Skitarii Battle Pilgrim Marshal. This looks like something straight out of Necromunda. Like the Ash Wastes set. Does look quite cool. I really like his pistol. Or its pistol. And the Fabricator General has lost something really important. They send out a Skitarii Battle Pilgrim Marshal and their horde of Skitarii Battle Pilgrims to secure it. We can't guarantee that they can find that part you clipped off and dropped on the floor though. That's a shame. They always seem to just disappear into oblivion, don't they? They can be armed with a range of esoteric weapons, a Voltlock handgun or Architect pistol, and an an Orc turret scepter. That's a word. Phase claw or corpuscent stave. They also have a choice of 3 heads, meaning your marshals will look different should you choose to lead your Skitarii conclave with more than one, as is inevitable, I expect. And then we have the Skitarii Battle Pilgrim Corpus. Yeah, they look like they're straight out of the Ash Wastes. It would be nice to see some of these used in 40k, to be honest. I'm sure you could just proxy them for another unit of Skitarii. Maybe with some light conversions. I don't know. The Skitarii Battle Pilgrim Corpus accompany the Marshal into battle. Each is armed with a Voltlock Arquebus, a devastating anti-infantry weapon, and they open up new tactical options for a Mechanicum army. The 16 miniatures in this kit can be fielded in 1 large unit or 2 smaller ones of 8 Battle Pilgrims each with their own ordinator squad leader. They'll all comfortably fit inside a Triaros armoured conveyor. I'm going to go with that. Which will ensure they get to those juicy bits of lost technology before your enemy does. I did like this. I like the little drone thing. I say little, I don't actually know how big it is. The Voltarax Stratos Automata. If your battle pilgrims need some air cover, the Voltarax Stratos Automata is a floating weapons platform. Suppress enemies with an arc blaster, fire horde-slaying airburst, and tank-wrecking shaped charged missiles, and cut up anyone who gets too close with the vicious talons. Its speed and ability to fly over intervening units and terrain mean you can get that deadly weaponry exactly where you need it on the battlefield. The new Mechanicum miniatures have no allegiance-specific markings, meaning you can induct them into your army whether you believe the Emperor to be the Omnissiah or just a false prophet. Get some inspiration for painting your martial, battle pilgrims and Voltrax from our team. So there will no doubt be previews of these coming all week from people who got sent them. And then we got some of these, the made-to-order ones. So we got Captain Badrook for the Orcs, the Orc Pirate to go along with the pirates that have been released already, with the Corsairs. There's a lot going on that mini. Is he metal or is he resin? Doesn't say. And the Amarants look quite fun actually. I'd get them. I like this guy on the flagpole. He's quite fun. I mean, they're all fun. I guess they accompany Captain Badrook. Yeah, they're made to order until 8 AM on the 9th of March. So if you want them, you've got a little bit of time. And then it's all the Warhammer Plus gubbins, which I have not caught up on in a very long time. Here on the Warhammer Community website, we'll be taking a closer look at new Warhammer 40k characters for the Terror Empire. So that's the twin battle suits that were shown off relatively recently. I think it was before Christmas. The Leagues of Votan, so that'll be the Berserk character, which I'm keen to get my hands on for my own Votan army. And the Tyranids, so that was the Tyranid Prime, wasn't it? I want to say. Oh, as well as giving you the chance to win 2 combat patrols and diving into this year's Relics Licensing Festival. So if you're already a Warhammer Plus subscriber, you are entered into a competition to win a gigantic pile of Warhammer merch, basically. If you haven't seen it already. So yes, that is what is coming up for pre-order next weekend. Now, the other fun bits. So that is what's coming up for pre-order this coming Saturday. Now, with it being a Monday, I didn't get a chance to record this yesterday because I was doing a painting tutorial video and I was doing a lot of the editing yesterday. So check that out here, up here somewhere. With it being a Monday, they've had a few articles come out of Warhammer Community today. A couple of them very interesting. Well, one of them is very interesting. One of them I'm quite excited about. The other one, it's interesting in a way, and we'll go through it. Right, so let's go to the first one, which is the combat patrols. So, if you haven't seen it, today, being Monday the 23rd of February, they brought out an article showing 4 new combat patrols. And we'll take a look at them now. There we go. So, we have the Corsair combat patrol. So you get, what's that, squad of 5? It's 5 of the new jump pack guys, who I can't remember the name of. Let's read the blurb again. So, Eldari Corsairs have been active around the Galactic Core since time immemorial. And with Prince Uriel striking out in force, their piratical ilk are emboldened like never before. This collection of agile plunderers maximise the speed of your nascent army, ferrying Karseth the Void Dreamer and a squad of 10 Corsair Void Reavers into battle aboard a Wave Serpent, while a band of 5 new Corsair Sky Reavers cover them from above. So, this lot here, that's your Void Scarred, or Void Reavers. And this here is Karseth the Void Dreamer, so that's the new Psyker character. Lovely, lovely miniature. This is essentially the Void Scarred kill team, which they're now putting in the combat patrol, and these are the new Sky Reavers. And then obviously over here we have the Wave Serpent. It's not it's not really a starting army at all, to be honest. And looking at the rules for the Sky Reavers and just how squishy they are, I mean, I absolutely love the new Corsair models for the Eldar. Their rules, not so much. Then we go down to the Red Corsairs one. This one had me curious. I mean, I like the look of the Felgor Ravagers. I think that's also a kill team. And then you get the Rhino, obviously. And then you get 5, not 10, 5 of the new Red Corsair Reavers, which makes me think they will be coming individually in boxes of 5. Now you've got 10 in the army box, along with 10 regular Chaos Legionaries with upgrades to upgrade them to Red Corsairs. You had 5 Terminators, which also had upgrades on the upgrade sprue to make them Red Corsairs, and then you had 10 Traitor Guard as well, plus the new Reeve Captain, which is this guy front and center in the combat patrol. Which, all in all, was a good amount of minis in that box. Still a little overpriced, really, but you got a good amount of minis, and especially when you consider that squad of 10 Reavers is likely 2 squads of 5 that you get in a box. I do like the look of the Felgor Ravagers. I've always been quite keen on the Beastman models. As I said in a previous video, I collected Beasts, or Beastmen as they were known, but Beasts of Chaos as they became known in Sigmar, way back when I was collecting Warhammer Fantasy Battles. I didn't get many of them painted. Seems like a running trend, really. And then we have the Kroot Combat Patrol. And there's a theme here, because this is the Kroot Kill Team. Amazing models. All of them individual. And you get a couple of small Kroot Hounds with them as well. And then you've got the Krootox and the Krootox... Oh, I can't remember what they're called now. Basically, this is the Krootox shooty thing, and these are the Krootox fighty thing. And the... is it the Lone Shaper? I don't know why I'm speculating. It's all written down here. So, while often seen among cadres of the Tau Empire, the Kroots are a mercenary species who will quite happily ply the stars among their close-knit kinbands. Possess the resourcefulness, savagery, and cunning in spades. They're a terrifying prospect to face in the dark of a ship hold or on an open battlefield littered with salvage. And the combat control contains all of their greatest hits. With a fast auger kinband, that's the kill team, of 10 crew and 2 Kroot Hounds, skirmishing alongside a lone spear, that's this guy, while a mature Krootox rider up here provides fire support for 3 Krootox rampagers, that's these 3. Yeah. May consider armor a secondary concern, but they're fast and hit like a truck. The true Kroot way. I haven't seen anyone play Kroot in this edition. I mean, the models that came out were fantastic. Most of the models in 10th edition have been fantastic. Inquisitor Coach as a side note. But I've not really seen anyone field them. And then we have Night Lords. So again, is that the kill team in there? So we have Deadly Chaos Lord Descends from the Skies. So we have the Chaos Lord with jump pack right there. Why they didn't put any of the new Raptors in here, I don't know. But you have the jump pack Lord with 5 Chosen, 10 Legionaries, and a Chaos Rhino. The Legionaries in this combat patrol have swapped their usual upgrade sprue for the Night Lords themed one from the Nemesis Claw kill team. So yeah, all 4 of these combat patrols have a kill team box in them, effectively. And this one also comes with the Rhino, like the Red Corsair one. 5 Chosen as well, which are the ones at the front, I think. And then the jump pack captain, which again, odd choice given the rest of the contents of the box. But there we are. So that's the first article that came up today. The second, at least the second that I saw, was this one. There's a new Imperial Knight been revealed, with not a hint of this thing being shown off or talked about anywhere previously. And I got to say, it does look pretty cool. It looks more agile than the other Chaos Knights. I think it is essentially a cross between an Armiger and a Big Knight. And it is called the Knight Destria. And it is a pattern of Bellatus class Imperial Knight, prized for its incredible speed and grace, achieved by slimming down the chassis and mounting 2 large rocket boosters to the back of its carapace. Again, interesting choice, but I'm all here for it. So great is the added thrust of these boosters that large counterweights must be added to the Knight's legs to help it maintain balance. Not sure if that's what these are supposed to be. You got some great detail around the pilot. That spear, or spear type thing, is incredibly detailed. I mean, there's incredible detail all over the model, let's be fair. Got some cool head choices too. I quite like this one here. The one that looks like a jouster. That just looks like a vent. Anyway, Knight's Destria make use of their exceptional agility to close with the enemy and engage face to face with devastating Thundershock spears. That's this thing. And Bellatus Reaper chainswords, which is this one. The former are enormous rocket-assisted power lances, capable of punching through the heaviest armour. Be interesting to see the stats on that then. While the latter are versatile blades that can sweep entire squads aside or grind through single, tougher targets. The few surviving stragglers can hardly be considered lucky either, as they've only lasted long enough to get locked in the sights of a Chastiser Gatling cannon or frag bombard. That'd be the frag bombard. I can just imagine going And yeah, the Knight Destria's Bellatus chassis is slightly shorter than the Equestris class, but still significantly larger than the Armiger class. They're favoured by aggressive nobles who long for the cut and thrust brutality of melee combat, where they can rapidly seek out enemy behemoths and earn glory with a single rocket-boosted thrust of a colossal power blade. So there's a comparison. So they're just a little bit shorter than a regular Knight, but they are a good bit taller than an Armiger still. So in terms of price, I'd expect this to be somewhere around the cost of what these used to be, the big Knights. Because when I got back into the hobby, that was a little while ago now, granted, I think that you can pick up an Imperial Knight brand new from Games Workshop for about 75 quid. Now they're 105 quid, I believe. Unless you go see your friendly local gaming store, in which case you'll get 20% off that generally. And then the other thing I didn't see today was this. So the Tau Empire's Twin Lance data sheet. So these are the twin Tau battlesuits that I was talking about. These were announced a little while ago. I don't think it says when. But these are the pair of twin battlesuits that were a triplet of battlesuits. Because these, they have a fallen brother in arms, or battlesuit in arms, and each of them is wearing a shard of his bonding knife. And I won't go into the data sheet because I am not a Tau aficionado, shall we say. I'm just going to assume that it is obnoxiously Tau and leave it there. But no, they look really awesome. I really like the split colour scheme on these. It'll be a pain in the backside to paint that split colour scheme, I would imagine. I think I'd probably go about it by spraying it. Would I spray it though? Because you've got a lot of armour joints there. I don't know. It depends on how it goes. It depends on how it's built. If I could spray the armour panels before gluing them on, I would spray the chassis, as it were, as well, then I'd probably do that, but I don't think they go together that way. Trying to remember how I built Farsight. But awesome looking models. I'll add them to my character collection at some point in the future. So that is that. There's lots of interesting things coming up, as ever. Now, hobby-wise, I've done a painting tutorial on this guy, on how I paint the black. As you can see, there's a little bit here of his robes that has been painted. So head on over to the video to watch that. And I've also made a plinth, covered it in frog tape, which is the green stuff, and then built up the base for my MPO centerpiece, or what is I hoping is going to be my MPO centerpiece, which is this guy, who sits something like that on there. See if I can spin it without dropping it and breaking it. I did that to my last MPO centerpiece. There we go. So that is what I'm aiming for. I think I'm going to add a few skulls and things to this before it starts getting properly painted. And then once it is all painted, there'll be grass, tusks and other stuff, I imagine, being added to it, just to finish it off with some flair. But that is moving forward, as is the charity miniature, which is Eldrad. Yeah, besides that, it's just focusing on you lovely people, trying to get some content out for you, trying to get these done in the time frames that I have. I booked my train tickets for MPO as well, which is one thing out of the way. I'm quite nervous about that because I've only ever ridden a train once in my life, and train stations and airports and places like that stress me out all the time. So wish me luck. Still need to book the hotel. I look forward to seeing as many of you wonderful people at MPO as I can. And if you see me there and actually recognise me, then come and say hi. With that, I will say thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button. It'll be somewhere down here. Like the video because that always helps. Leave a comment. Is there anything you're particularly excited about? What of the recent or relatively recent reveals are you still waiting to get your hands on? Because I'd be honest, I forgot about the Tau twins, I forgot about the Votan character, I forgot about the Tyrannid Prime, because they were too long ago, and there's been another reveal show since. Thick and fast from Games Workshop. You can tell it's the end of an edition. Cool. Again, thank you very much for watching. Do all the YouTubey stuff, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.